And then, yeah, if you take Kevin, come in, just let him in, and you have the
Okay.
application pulled up. Good luck, everyone.
Thanks, Billy. All right, good morning, everybody. For the record, I'm Chris Young, Chair of the HDC Sign Advisory Committee. Let's confirm access. Members, please respond with an aye. We have Ben Norman.
Aye.
Mark Catone.
Aye.
Paul Wolf.
Aye.
And I'm sorry, for the town, can you state your name?
Fiona.
And Sarah
Thanks.
Johnson.
Okay, thanks, guys. This open meeting of the HDC's SAC is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12th, 2020. That order, posted with the agenda materials for the meeting, allow public bodies to convene remotely so long as public access to deliberations is reasonably provided. This meeting is convening via Zoom with video and audio recording available on the town's YouTube channel. We will feature public comment. Materials provided to members for this meeting or provided during the meeting are, unless otherwise noted, available on the town's website. During the meeting, I'll introduce agenda topics and speakers. Please remember to mute your Zoom audio until your name's called, and direct comments and questions through the chair to avoid crosstalk and the taking of minutes easier. Votes will be conducted by roll call, to order at 1st, 2025. Do we have a motion to approve our agenda?
So moved. Second.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Mark. Ben, are you in favor?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye. Aye.
Paul?
Yeah. Aye.
And Paul? Thanks. Okay. Great. We do not have minutes to approve, so let's move on to, can we have the agenda pulled up on the screen share? Let's move on to public comments. I don't see anybody here for general public comments. Nina, I assume you're here for your application.
Yeah.
Do we have any commissioner comments that would like to be made? Okay, I have one that is related to a warrant article that's coming up, and I don't think we have a whole lot of time because I believe tomorrow is the last day that any feedback can be provided, but I just wanted to talk about this in our meeting, that there is a warrant article being proposed which would basically allow the town to install those speed limit signs, with the digital displays that indicate what speed you're traveling at, with sort of a carte blanche, no size restriction, no quantity restriction or locations. So that is a traffic issue and not necessarily something that we want to dive too deep into, but the concern was raised that perhaps having no limitation or no check and balance on what those could end up being and how, just it would make sense if something's going to be written into the town bylaws that there should be some at least input from the HTC on that, as there was when that whole Milestone Road, that sign application kind of got revisited. So I would say that we should all, I think individually, if you have the time, look at that warrant article and maybe send your concerns in. I think tomorrow's the last day to be able to contribute any feedback before the finance committee will take that up. So it's not on our agenda, unfortunately, so we can't really have a crosstalk conversation, but that's just something I wanted to make everybody aware of. And so be it. Any other commissioner comments? No, we'll move on to the first item on the agenda. Nina, you've got two signs proposed: a projecting sign and a wall sign for 11 Washington Street. Do you want to just walk us through your application? Tell us what you're
sure.
proposing.
I'm not sure what. Yeah. So can you scroll down? So we have two signs. One to project on the left side of 11 Washington, same location that currently the Lovely sign is. Sorry. I'm taking over both sides of this building, so I'd like to have one projecting on the left side and then one over the door.
Okay, this, are both signs the same size as the existing signs, just in different,
they are.
moving the location?
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, actually, no, we're not moving location. They're the same locations as the existing signs.
Oh, okay, isn't the wall sign moving to the center above the door?
Yeah, that's where it is now.
Oh, it is, okay, I thought that you had one
Yeah.
on each side before, okay.
Well, it probably did when it was two different tenants, but Julie has had the whole building for a while.
Got it, understood. Okay. So can we see, that's the existing signage. Can we just go to the proposed design? You could scroll, there you go. Okay. So that is square foot size wise, that complies with the guidelines.
Mhm.
Why don't we go Ben, Mark, Paul, as far as comments?
I don't really have any concern about this personally. This sign specifically, I have no problem with.
Okay, Mark?
Yeah, I don't think I have any concerns either. Thanks.
Great, Paul?
What is the name of the business?
It's Birdie by Nina Little Design.
I'm a little concerned with the small by Nina Little Design. The implication is that the name of the business is Birdie, and I don't think we've previously had a name like that that I'm aware of. So I don't know. How important is the wording by Nina Little Design?
It's very important.
Okay, well, is that your only concern, Paul?
Yeah, that's my only question or concern. Yes.
Okay. Got it. Would anybody like to make a motion?
I'd make a motion to approve as submitted.
I'll second that.
We have a second? Okay, Paul, are you in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Mark?
Aye.
And Ben?
Aye.
Okay, I am as well. Let's move on to the wall sign application. And we could just scroll down to the graphic of the design. So this is going in the same location, centered over the doorway. There we go,
Correct.
right there. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. So that's about a 5 square foot sign, same size as existing. Okay. We'll reverse the order. Go Paul, Mark, Ben.
This one just says Birdie, but not Nina Little Design.
It won't, unfortunately, it doesn't fit. So that's why we omitted it on this one.
But it's not going to be on this one.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. Any other concerns, Paul?
No.
Okay. Nina, one question I have is the projecting sign did show a border of white. This one does not have a border, is that right?
Correct.
Okay. Just point that out. Mark?
Excuse me. I think it should have a border to match the projecting sign. We typically want to see a border on these signs. And the only other question I have, not maybe a question, but I'm just processing as I look at this. Do we feel like, maybe it's a question more for the balance of the board members, but do we feel like there's a lot of wall or sign that's blank, if you will? Should this be smaller? Proportionally, I like the scale of it over the door. I'm just questioning the amount of blank space left and right of the name. I don't have any concerns with the graphics per se, but just kind of throw that out there. Curious what the other members think. Thanks.
Thanks, Mark. Ben?
Yeah, I mean, I have the exact same concern as Mark does. I think if you really look at the sign, it just seems like the proportion of negative space to actual graphic is off. It just seems like the lettering is a little too tall. There isn't enough breathing room top, above and below, and then there's way too much breathing room left and right. There's something wrong. There's something not right about the lettering versus the square footage of the sign. You know, in the long run, is that a problem? I don't know. Probably not, but I think it could be improved. But it wouldn't hold me back from issuing an approval on it, but I feel like it isn't. There's something not right about it.
Yeah, so Nina, one of the things that the guidelines do request is a border on the sign, which I think would, you know, putting a white border to match the projecting sign makes sense, if that's what you want to do
Well,
to satisfy the need for a border.
There is a border on this. It's blue. So
Oh, okay.
the other one has it's white and blue, right? The other one has the white and blue. The reason why we didn't do the white is because it's such a there's very little space for lettering. So we took the white off. We certainly could put it back on. And if everyone feels really strongly about the sort of dead space, we certainly could shrink the length. I just don't want it to get too small that it's lost on the door.
Yeah, I mean,
Right, that's where I was
even if there was some like embellishment of the lettering or something just to fill that space in some way, it just seems like it needs a little pizzazz or something. But,
Paul might not, I agree with you, but you know, I was thinking the same thing about the negative space. And then the reason I was bringing up the white border is that that's not going to help, because that's going to make the lettering even smaller if
right.
you had to allow for the border. But and Paul, you're not going to like this, but what if you reintroduce the Nina Little design? I mean, it would give you more, you know, if it was taking up, move the birdie to the left and put Nina Little design in the smaller font, sort of occupying the right half of the sign. Just thinking out loud here, guys.
Or do we just bring it in?
Shrink it?
Yeah, I actually like birdie centered over the door. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And but you know, maybe it doesn't need to be 6 feet long. Maybe just come in at some point where the proportions feel a little better in terms of the negative space that's been described.
Yeah,
but that it still has some like punch on the building, that it doesn't get lost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear that.
So, you know, we're just trying to come up with suggestions for
Sure.
a good looking sign for your sake, I think here. What does everybody want? What do you want to do? You know, like, having heard our feedback, what changes make sense to you, if any?
Well, I'm absolutely open-minded to some of these suggestions. I guess I just have to, I don't know how the process works, so you're gonna have to educate me. So do I get approval with, with agreed amendments, or do I need to come back? How does this work?
What we could do is, so we're going to send up a recommendation to the meeting tonight for the full board to vote. And typically, they'll take our advice or our recommendations to heart. So if you were to say, I want to make this a 4-foot wide sign, just as an example, we could recommend approval with that change. You'd still have to submit, just file a plan showing it as 4 feet long so that it could be stamped appropriately. But in order to move along, if it's something simple like that, we could send up a recommendation for approval with, you know, certain modifications. So that are simple, like changing the width of the sign, for example. Or you could hold.
Speak out of turn, but I mean, if this is, Nina, if this is the sign you want, I mean, we're kind of giving you suggestions on improvements, but I won't lose sleep if this sign goes on the building. So I'm okay with offering a suggestion to approve it, but you know.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out, Ben. This is not I think, Mark, how do you feel about this sign if there were no changes made?
Yeah, it's probably okay. I mean, does it come in 6 inches left and right or something, just to kind of close it in a little bit? But yeah, I don't really have a lot of issues with it otherwise.
Okay, and Paul?
I would suggest cutting a couple of inches off of each end of the board and putting a border on it.
Okay.
It has
So
a
there you go,
border
Nina.
though, correct?
It has
a blue border, I heard.
Yes.
It's not, yeah. So there is a border.
I don't have a problem shrinking it if you prefer.
Do we take it to 60? Just come in 6 inches left and right? That help a
Go to
little
60 inches.
Yes, I'm just looking at a tape measure, sorry.
bit? Because right now it's broken into thirds, like the negative space, the text, and then the negative space again
Yeah.
is all even. I think if it came in 6 inches, at least the birdie would be more pronounced and there'd be less blank space left and right.
Sure.
So I would make a motion to approve as submitted with the length reduction to 60 inches.
I have no problem with that.
Second.
Okay, that was Paul, you seconded. So Ben, are you in favor?
Aye.
And Paul
Aye.
and Mark?
Aye.
I am as well.
May I ask a
Thanks,
question?
Nina. And
Sure.
good luck. Yes,
Um,
sure.
if I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, but if I wanted to have projections on both sides of the building, am I allowed to do that?
No, the guidelines would let you have 2 signs per business.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
and there's combinations that you can have, like 1 wall sign with 1 projecting sign, or a wall sign with a flag sign, but you can't have 2 projecting signs or
Okay.
2 wall signs, unless there's certain situations like corner properties where there's, 2 street fronts and things like that. But in this situation, you pick the 2 that you think will best serve
Okay.
you, which you've.
So
you've
my
done.
other question, my other question is, if you look at the front elevation of the building, like the whole building, sorry. So, oh, it's up sideways. So there's a little, oops. Okay. So, oh, you can't see it on this, but to the right, side of this building, there's a small little bump out, which is going to be an office. It's going to be a sort of a Nina Little Design satellite office. Am I allowed to have a small wall sign that says Nina Little Design?
Does it have a separate entrance?
Yes.
So if it were less than 1 square foot, just to identify the location for her at that door or entry.
Yeah, that would, something like
So-
at 2 Union Street,
I'm sorry, say that again.
where they've got what Mark was saying is that if you look at like 2 Union Street, for example, which is, just down the way a little bit, they've got there's 1 entry and it's got a few different signs on it for the businesses that are like on the 2nd floor. So that's a less than 1 square foot type of a sign, so you get like, an 8x11 sort of wall sign or something of that ilk, that you could apply for. You still want to apply for it, but it's something that you could put up.
Oh, so, okay, that's the part I was when I was reading the rules and regulations, and it says the sizes that you don't have to get approved, I assumed, so I still have to go to a meeting, correct?
You would, yeah. It's yes. In the introduction, there's a section that talks about basically any commercial sign does require an application regardless of size.
Okay.
But then so it is a little tricky, but yeah, bring in the application.
Okay, I'll do that. All right. So this is, you all have approved this, thank you. So then it goes to tonight, and then if they agree, they stamp it and I'm good to go? Is that how it works?
Right, so that you'll have to submit a revised, you'll revise your plan, and if you can do it today, great, and send it into the office as far as just saying 60 inches in width, and modify the application to say 60 inches.
Okay, so submit the same application, just edited it slightly?
it'll go to the recommend change to 60 and redline your, frankly, just cross out 72 there and write 60.
Okay, okay. And then just
And
resubmit.
if you have the ability, yeah, if you have the ability to draw that so that it actually is 60 inches wide, so the scale is correct, that would be great.
We can do that.
But submit that, that'll be what gets stamped and put into the file. So the office will need that eventually to actually set the file up properly.
Okay. And then, I don't know if Fiona's still on, but can I send that via email or do I need to drop that off?
Hi,
Fiona,
sorry,
is it-
this is Fiona. That needs to be brought into the office and Nikki will approve that with the renovation, with the revised set of drawings.
Okay. All right. We'll do that today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Nina. Good
Thanks,
luck.
Nina.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Okay, so Fiona, I assume enforcement is not something you're ready to talk about?
No, sir, not on
Okay.
my
All
radar.
right.
Could,
Go
On
ahead,
that
Paul.
sub-
Would you like to make?
yeah,
Yes,
on that subject, could Fiona ask the sheriff to send us the updated list
Oh,
the next few days?
sure. I
Oh,
will get
right.
Nikki on that.
The spreadsheet.
Yes.
Thanks, Fiona.
Nikki will be
Thank-
back tomorrow. She's just on vacation.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second,
All right, Ben, are you in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Paul? Mark?
Aye.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, Fiona.
Thank you so much. Have a good
Thanks,
day.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
You too.
See you later.
Bye.